Welcome to my channel on the best of fantasy. This is the week that was, and a fun week it has been on the channel. In particular, Paul has been up to more of his shenanigans. He seems to have discovered some editing toys, and that has led to some alterations of poor AP's snazzy new intro for his videos on A Critical Dragon. You'll see Paul has been vandalizing poor AP's intro. And I think even more scandalous, he has mangled my singing voice in the week that was not. So I suppose I might include links in the description below to some of these. My favorite, though, I have to admit, was his best of Dr. Fantasy and Professor Fireball's video, a sort of compilation of our best moments, or I don't know if best is the right word, but of some of our more ridiculous moments. So Paul has done quite a few little silly things there. But I will say that he has also redeemed himself. Yes, I admit, Paul has redeemed himself by discovering the lost fragment, a fragment at least, of the lost video of episode 12 of the Fantasy Archetypes series. Yes, indeed, Paul has discovered a fragment of the lost episode 12, thus proving that AP can, in fact, count beyond 10. And it is quite a look at The Void. That is episode 12. We told you all along there was an episode 12. It is The Void. And if you want to watch that episode and stare into the face of the void, there it is. It's probably one of our more eloquent videos, I would say, actually. But actually, if you skip to the end, you will hear the evil laugh of the void as it mocks your meaninglessness. Yes, if you go all the way to the end of Paul's found fragment of episode 12 of the Fantasy Archetype discussion series, you will hear the void laughing at your insignificance. So, I will put a link in the description below so that you can get a taste of that. So, yes. What else has been happening on the channel besides the mockery? Well, AP and I had a wonderful time talking about the Callow Youth. Speaking of the Archetype discussion series, let's see, the Callow Youth, that was episode... oh no, I'm out of fingers, AP. It was episode 16 for the Archetype discussion series. And it was a blast talking about the Callow Youth, the inexperienced young person, in other words. And this is a very, very common fantasy trope. So it's something that you will recognize immediately when we discuss it. And I thought it was for me, it was just a fun conversation to touch on some of of our favorites, our usual favorites that exhibit examples of this particular trope. And there are lots. It's a rich one. It's a really rich one for good reason. It has an enormous psychological impact because we all go through these rites of passage throughout our lives, and the Callow Youth is one that helps us to mark some of the significant rites of passage of maturity, let's say. So, and a more experienced view of the world. So, yes. I also had a video out on the channel on my winter TBR, and that was a very successful so far video, and much watched, and I really appreciate the feedback from all of you on the winter TBR. It's so much fun to just talk about the books we love and what we're going to read, and I love hearing your impressions of some of the books that I'm going to be reading. So that was a lot of fun. My highly aspirational, as usual, seasonal TBR. Yeah, so it was great interacting with everybody there and hearing your thoughts and you're getting your encouragement. It really, I can't say enough how much your encouragement means to me for the channel, and this would not be worth it without you guys. So thank you very much indeed. So what else did I do? Well, I was involved in a wonderful chat. Had a great time And I had advertised this last week, but the chat has happened. It was on Andrew's Wizardly Reads. He was a wonderful, gracious host for the rest of us, participating in the chat on A Shadow in Summer, book 1 of the Long Price Quartet. This was a book that deeply impressed me. I have a very high opinion already of Daniel Abraham's writing, and I am enthusiastic about continuing in this series. And it really helped me a lot to get my thoughts out and to listen to the thoughts of Sarah from Sarah Reads and Nico from Nico's Book Reviews, and of course my buddy Alan from the Library of Alexandria, who is the Long Price Prophet. And also we're going to be in future discussions, I believe we'll be joined by Zara from Books with Zara, so that will make it an even richer discussion, I'm sure. The next discussion on, let's see, book 2 is A Betrayal in Winter, I believe. That will be on Nico's channel, and I really had a great time getting to know Nico in that discussion as well. Wonderful fellow, and I'm very happy that he's going to be hosting our second episode. So yeah, that is something to look forward to. I think that discussion will probably happen roughly a month from the first one, so that'll probably be in mid-January. And I myself will be reading A Betrayal in Winter, if not at the end of this month, then the very beginning of next, depending on how things go. I also was in a couple discussions, speaking of Professor Fireballs, I was in a couple discussions with AP on his channel, A Critical Dragon. One was our discussion of episode 6 of Wheel of Time. And I think we're both somewhat surprised to see ourselves enjoying the Wheel of Time television series as much as we are. I think we had a lot of positive things to say about, ever since episode 4, really, episodes 4, 5, and 6, which I understand that a lot of the really dedicated fans of the book series have not been happy with episodes, particularly 4, 5, and 6, I think. But I'm not exactly keeping track of all the debates, but from the perspective of a fan of the series who has read the series only once, and that quite a few years ago, not quite a decade ago, for me, the show's doing a great job so far. I'm enjoying it. I'm having a good time. I'm not usually a television watcher either, so I'm surprised to find myself anticipating each episode every week and looking forward to it. And probably because I'm getting to talk about the episodes with AP, that is also adding some enjoyment for me to the series. So, but yeah, I'm looking forward to episode 7. I hear big things are probably going to happen in episode 7, so that's a lot to look forward. It is the penultimate episode of the season, so it makes sense that they would want something biggish to happen there, I'm sure. So they definitely want to finish this season on a strong, powerful note, I should think. So we shall see, but that discussion we're going to be doing, the next one, episode 7, should be on my channel, and I think it'll be out on Tuesday if all goes as planned. So we also, AP and I also did another discussion on his channel on tropes versus archetypes. It was a focus on how tropes are used. We had a really, I think, fun discussion and engaging discussion on how tropes are used. Tropes being tools that writers use. Tropes being, from the understanding of a more critical perspective, speaking of tropes as a neutral sort of tool that writers can use, and they can be used badly and they can be used well. So it was a fun discussion on that and distinguishing them a little bit from what archetypes are, so if you're curious about that. And that is also part of our archetype discussion series, so that would be episode 17, and that is on AP's channel, A Critical Dragon. So yeah, lots of fun there. And what am I doing now? Well, I am reading. I am very happily reading Stephen King's Wizard and Glass. Yes, I'm finally on Wizard and Glass, and I'm enjoying this one as I anticipated. I'm enjoying it tremendously. So it is great to be back in the world of the Dark Tower, making more progress toward the Dark Tower with Roland and his quartet. So yeah, I'm having a great time reading this series in general. It has deeply impressed me, and I anticipate that it will remain among my top 10 fantasy series. So yeah, I mean, it's really bizarre, good stuff. And I can't wait to see where King takes me in Wizard of Glass. Yeah, I mean, it's just fantastic so far. So really fun. And what else is coming? Let's see. I already mentioned that I will be doing episode 7 of Wheel of Time with AP, and I think that will be out on Tuesday on my channel. And also, I've already recorded this, so it's out. So this will be upcoming as well. It might be on Thursday next week on my channel. But I've done a spoiler-free chat with AP, with Professor Fireballs, on Toll the Hounds, which we both finished reading, and wow, just wow. Let me tell you what a tremendous impact that book has had on me. I can count on one hand the number of books that have had such a feeling of catharsis at the end of the book. And I was telling AP, it Toll the Hounds, it's book 8 in the Malazan Book of the Fallen. It feels like an ending to something important at the same time. Even though I know there are threads that need to be finished in Dust of Dreams and the Crippled God. Of course, there are big, important things that have to happen there. But wow, I mean, it has the weight of a finale in so many ways. And it's just a book that moved me deeply. And it's about grief and loss and mourning and mortality, but it's also a celebration of life at the same time, and these two things being two sides of the same coin, essentially. I'm so incredibly moved by Stephen Erickson's writing, and I loved these books the first time I read them. The first time I read the Malazan Book of the Fallen, I was pretty blown away. This time, it's just a life-changing read for me, and really feel privileged to be talking about these books with AP. Toll the Hounds is a very important book for him as well, and you'll see that when you see our chat on Toll the Hounds, spoiler-free on my channel. So you can watch all this spoiler-free discussions on the various books of the Malazan Book of the Fallen anytime. If you haven't read that far, we do keep free of spoilers. So those are mostly thematically directed discussions. So we're careful not to reveal things when we're doing the spoiler-free stuff. So if you're just intrigued by the various books, you feel free to watch those videos. But we also will be recording, of course, these, not just one, but several spoiler-filled discussions. We are going to be there's just so much happening in Toll the Hounds that AP and I agree that we can't do it in one hour video. There's no way. I don't know how many we're going to do. I know it's going to be more than one. Last time with Reaper's Gale, we did do 2 spoiler discussions in addition to the spoiler-free one. So we had 3 videos just on the books as a whole. We also had a video on a poem from Reaper's Gale, and we did the prologue. And so, yeah, I mean, each Malazan book you can do hours and hours and hours of discussion and analysis on. These are such rich books. So we have some things in store, and I hope something very exciting as well for our Toll the Hound spoiler discussions. I can't quite announce it yet, but I think we might be having another exciting announcement in regard to our spoiler discussions about Toll the Hound. So we shall see. But regardless, I am really looking forward to these spoiler-filled discussions on Toll the Hounds. Those are going to be great, because this is just such an amazing, moving, tremendous book. So, yeah, and on to Dust of Dreams. It's hard to believe that the Malazan series, the Malazan Book of the Fallen, it does have an ending. So, and unfortunately, and I'm starting to get why some of the fans have read this series. Like I know Cal from Really Good and Kind has read the series, like, I don't know, something in the teens, like 13 or 14 times, I think, maybe more, I don't know. But I know a lot of Malazan fans who've read this series so many times, and I get it, I really do. So there's something on every read that you're going to get that you didn't get before, I think. So, all right, well, the other thing I'm planning, not for next week, but I am already giving thought to my best reads of 2021 video. So I'm kind of excited about making this video. I don't want to do a disappointing reads or whatever of 2021. I want to keep it positive. I want to focus on the stuff that really worked for me this year. And I already have, I think, 6 or 7 perhaps in mind. I'm not going to go with some arbitrary number. I don't want to have to necessarily come up with 10 or whatever. So I'm just going to pick the ones that I feel really, really moved me. And I'm going to exclude rereads. So you already know that I'm not going to put anything from the Malazan Book of the Fallen on my best reads of 2021 because I've already read all those books before. So those are a reread for me. But there will be some, I think, very interesting books to talk about in that video. So yeah, please be on the lookout for that one. Probably in a couple weeks or so. So we shall see. I'll try to time that right. But yeah, that's what I'm up to and what I'll be doing. And hopefully, staying out of mischief for the most part. I am staying busy with work and all that right up until Christmas. But yeah, it's been such a great year. And, I'm very excited to start 2022. It's just incredible to me that we're almost there already. But the channel has been such a wonderful part of my life, and I thank you all for being part of it. So that's it from me for now. Until next time.